Greetings, Globe. I'm Moses, and you're welcome to What's What. And today, the word is live. When you hear live, L-I-V-E, the first thing that comes to mind is basing at a place, maybe a basement, maybe a penthouse, maybe a duplex, or living somewhere in a country like maybe somewhere in America, maybe somewhere in Asia, somewhere in Africa. But then that's the first thought of the word live. But then the second thought, you think of it as existence. You think of it as being alive. So that is where our topic will be coming from today, and that will be our main focus. So as you stay with me and stick with me on this channel, we're going to explore the essence of living. And then I want you to ask yourself a question right now before we go on, which is, what do I want to live for? So on a more practical note, you could pick up a piece of paper and a pen, and then you could write down what you want to live for or what you are currently living for at the end of this video. And I would really appreciate it if you do that. It's a part of the journey, it's a part of the process. Thank you. Once there lived a cat in a house. He had the house all to himself. Jasper was his name. And then until a family of mouse came along, and there were about 7 of them, then he was actually day after day spotting one of them always stealing the cheese. Then he needed to go find that one and make her dinner because she was their mom. Now, each time he kept trying, she kept proving stubborn. Each time he kept trying, he kept proving stubborn. Then, on a particular day, on a fateful day, he happened to catch her stealing the cheese, and there was nowhere to run because she was carried away. So he obviously had the higher advantage. So he got to her in time and had her under his grip. And then, before he killed her, he asked her a simple question. He asked, "Why do you steal the cheese?" And then she was like, "Jasper, I steal the cheese because of my kids." And then he was like, "Why would you risk your life over cheese?" And then she said, when she was a child, she was a little mouse, she would go out with her brother, and one of the days, her brother got caught while stealing cheese and was killed by the cat in the house. So the house they lived then. So from that day, she swore that every single day she was going to put her life out there for the sake of her kids, to be able to feed them with cheese and all they needed, even if what it meant she had to risk her life. Now, Jasper, although a cat, felt very remorseful for the mouse, and he let her go. And every single day after that, she still kept going for the cheese. And what do we learn from this story? We learn from this story that some people, there are 2 different types of people, and there are those people who live for nothing, and those who live for something. You have to live in one of these places. You are either the person who is living for something or the person who is living for nothing. Let's say the mice in the story did not have anything to live for. She didn't have kids, she didn't have hungry mouths to feed, and she wouldn't see any reason to risk her life every single day to feed those hungry mouths. So on the same base of analysis, I would also want you to look at yourself. So what is that thing that drives you every morning? What is that reason that you have to get up in the rain, in the sunlight, to go out for? That thing may be education, that thing may be a business, that thing may as well be something that you so much dream to achieve. Now, if you are somewhere and nothing really drives you out of bed, waking up sucks, sleeping is fun, crash, healthy. Now, I would also want you to reflect a lot on this story and ask yourself, from today, what would I want to be living for? And what do I want to make my day count for? For example, before now, I am a writer and a poet. But before now, I didn't think I could do well on the camera. I always felt, okay, I would be better, writing text upon text. But somewhere inside of me, I felt the yearning to be more and to live, to inspire people beyond the pages. So that very fire in you that thrives you, that drives you towards becoming not just yourself, but becoming better, or the better version of yourself, is what I need you to get a hold of today. So before you go to bed tonight, I'd want you to think deeply on these words. What do I want to live for? As a student, do you want the best degrees ever produced? You have to work for it. As a businessman, do you want the best selling products in your country, in Africa, in Europe? You have to work for it. Are you a mother? You want the best children? You want the best childhood experience for your children? You have to work for it. So whatever you wish or desire, or whatever drives you to keep on pushing through each day. Are you a forex trader? You want to make tons of money? You have to put the works to it. So every area of life that you are working in right now, I want you to make sure that you understand why you are there and why that is so important to your existence. And then finally, I want you to put down a very important word among your living goals. Now, this goal is value. So when you are living and you present value through service in one way or the other, you are creating value. And when you have this word, value, at your forefront, people come after you, people come looking for you. Why? Because you have something to give. But when there is no value, when you live a life where you cannot give value to another person, it mustn't be another $1 billion check, or it mustn't be, a brand new Bugatti. It could be a word or two. It could be an act of kindness. But then make sure that every day of your life you live it and make it count. So that when you are gone, it's not really going to be all about, he lived here, he lived on 5th floor, I know that dude, he was dark, he was tall, I know he was Irish. That's not what people are going to remember. Just what people are going to remember about you. They're going to remember he was sweet, he was kind, he was generous, he was my motivation, he was hardworking. Now, people are going to picture you by your values and not just by your name or your facial recognitions and all that. So remember this. Ask yourself once again, if you have not written it down, pick a pen, pick a paper, and write down what you want to live for, and then check if that aligns with you, aligns with what you were made with, and then if it does, then pick it up from there. On the final note, remember this word, live, and remember this word, value. And then also understand that there is a God up there, and that He looks down to you and He values your every existence. Whether you're depressed, whether you're displaced, whether you can't really figure anything out right now, I want you to know that as long as there is breath in you, in your lungs, and there is breath flowing out of your nostrils, wherever you are, no matter your state, that there is still a reason that you were born to live for. There is something out there. There's someone out there who you should be that is waiting for you. So take this word of encouragement and know that to be out there, to live, to be the one that has the value to offer, there's work to it. So just like the mother mice that would always risk her life and put our life out there to bring out the best. Parents, brothers, sisters, teachers, students, everyone out there, put out your best to bring out the best out of that student, out of that child, out of yourself, and so that at the end of the day, it will all count.